Did you have a good overall last year, you think?
I think so.
Let's reminisce a little bit.
I think so. I traveled to 3 countries, which I was really happy with. I went to Japan, which we talked about in the last
Mr. World
episode.
Traveler
Man,
over
I'm
here.
trying. I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Mhm.
Japan, Saudi Arabia, and then the end of the year, Portugal.
What's your favorite one?
Oh man,
Where would you go back to, like, the fastest?
It's so tough between Japan and Portugal. There's such different
All right,
countries.
so Saudi Arabia's out. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia's out. Yep, sorry, Saudi Arabia.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Japan, Portugal couldn't be more different, but
They sound super different.
Yeah, yes. Portugal felt like home. I could see myself living there, and aesthetically, I look like a lot of the people there, so I blend in a lot better.
Mhm.
Japan, I know this might come as a surprise to you, but I don't blend in. People knew I wasn't Japanese. I know, it's shocking.
What?
Yeah, I was really
Yeah.
surprised by
Yeah.
that. But in Portugal, like by day 2 or 3, you could just blend in as a regular. Same with you. You have that racially ambiguous look, right?
That
like, what is he?
miscellaneous or something. He's
You would blend
some
in
sort of
perfectly.
brown.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So Portugal then? You would choose
I
to
think
go back?
so. I think so. Yeah, I loved it, and it was just such a laid back culture, great food, very slow. So if you're in a rush, it's not the place to be.
Mhm.
You know, you be in line somewhere, the employees will just kind of look at their phone for 5 minutes and then be like, "What do you want? Like, why are you still here?" Like,
Yeah.
it's very different than the service we're used to here, but something kind of cool about it. They don't have
Mhm.
that the customer's always right, like running after the customer type of energy. It's
Right.
a lot more laid back, and
Yeah.
people are friendly. The food is phenomenal. And you like coffee? Do you drink coffee?
I'm more of a tea drinker, honestly. I'm not a big coffee guy, unfortunately.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
unfortunately. Okay, so the coffee there is good. You might not try it, but coffee there is
I'll
very
try
good.
it, but I'm not a big. Are you a big coffee
I
drinker?
love coffee. Yeah, I do.
How many cups do you drink a day?
I used to drink much more. Now I drink like 2 to 3 cups a day. I used to drink maybe 6 to 8 cups a day, like one of those people. Yeah.
What?
But I wasn't sleeping well, which I know we're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second.
So it was supplementing with caffeine to make up for a lack of quality sleep. So I've gotten better with that.
Have you?
I have. Yeah, I have. I have hit or miss days when it comes to sleep, especially when my mind is racing. It can be tough to sleep when you have all these thoughts racing. So
Mm-hmm.
if I don't like ease into my sleep schedule, I'm just laying in bed like my mind racing, right?
Yeah.
What can we get into now? What's been
Yeah,
your
anyways,
issues?
welcome back to the podcast. I'm Dr. Gerry. Coach Ramy's here again. And yeah, lots to talk about. Well, I wanted to talk about resolutions, but I know, let's just get into that first. You have pretty big opinions on what you think about people forming New Year's resolutions. So,
Yes.
like, what do you think about resolutions in general?
I think because I'm in a fitness or fitness adjacent industry, I can't stand the idea of like, oh, this year I'm going to, because nobody follows through with what they say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every year people say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And especially as a coach and a martial artist, people will call the gym and be like, hey, it's been my dream to blah, blah, blah. And this year I'm going to do it. And then they never show up. You never see them. Or someone signs up, trains for like 2 weeks. And so to me, if you're going to do something.
That's me right now with you. I'll be back.
No, I know you will. I know you will. For me, if you're going to do something, you do it. It's okay to set the intention.
Bugging me. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
No, you're fine, man. You're fine. I think it's good to set the intention, but I think you prove that you're going to make changes in your life by changing them and acting upon them.
Mm-hmm.
When you make these declarations, oftentimes publicly for other people's approval or reassurance, to me it seems insincere. So I just have an issue with the culture around New Year's resolutions. It seems insincere. It's just like for an ego boost. It's a temporary motivation, and it doesn't turn into a consistent discipline in order to achieve the resolutions or goals. So do I think, at the beginning of the year, hey, this is something I'd like to accomplish this year? Sure. But I think I avoid these are my New Year's resolutions because of like the energy around that phrase itself, I guess. Yeah.
Well, let me play devil's advocate because I agree with you for the most part.
Yeah.
Yes. But also do you think there's people that actually follow through in the resolutions?
I'm
And that's
sure there
good for
are.
them?
Yeah, I'm sure there are, and I think it can be a good thing if people
Yeah,
are
right?
sincere.
That's
Absolutely,
how
go
I think
for it.
about it
Yeah.
too. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So I think, I'm definitely a hater in a way
Hmm.
of resolutions too.
Yeah.
But like, if that's a foot in the door for somebody, for their fitness journey, for their nutrition journey, for
Yeah.
whatever, and they keep doing it,
Hmm.
there's a stigma of like people do their goals or resolutions and they just kind of like burn out, which I talked
Yeah.
about in my last podcast,
Mm.
which should be out on YouTube by now. And I think, it's definitely a thing where people, yeah, it happens. They burn out. They say, I'm going
Sure.
to do this, this, and this. And they just, by March, they're like, they forget about it, or they
Yeah.
hate their lives, or
Hmm.
they can't really integrate it into their lives because they've
Yes.
never done it before. And I understand
Right.
that. But I think it is good for some people the people that do follow through, hey, if it helps them, it helps them. You know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Hmm.
Also, I think it's a good way to, I asked you before the podcast,
Hmm.
like reflecting on the previous year.
Right.
I think it's a good way to kind of reflect on what you did last year
Hmm.
and maybe like try to improve upon the following year in some way.
I
And I
see.
understand that you should be doing that every week probably or every
Right.
day, try to
Right.
improve your life. But,
Hmm.
if that's a way to kind of like get you to sit down and think about your goals and your aspirations in life at the end of the year, it's something, you know what I mean? It happens to me, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I get caught up in like, what did I do this past year that I enjoyed or didn't enjoy? Like, what can I cut out?
Yeah.
What's good? What can I keep doing? And so I want to ask you, like, what do you think? What is something you can improve upon? Like, let's look at last year for both
Hmm.
of us. Um, what was some good stuff that you liked about everything you did last year? Business, personal. Let's start with business. Like, what
Okay.
did you like about your business that you did last year?
Last year, I liked that I expanded my business by adding new classes,
Mm-hmm.
by adding new coaches. Shout out, as always,
Yes.
Enrique. And just having my students compete more in various combat sports. So just, growing the business, not so much with the focus on the numbers and sales, but
Yeah.
growing our impact, right? More workshops, more seminars,
Mm-hmm.
more free programs for people who can't afford training, going to various neighborhoods in the city and serving underserved communities. So
Yep.
I like that our impact expanded. That's something I was really proud of, and I want to continue to grow.
What communities? Let's shout those out.
So yeah, I've got Chatham in the South Side, Inglewood.
South Side. Yep.
Yeah,
West Side.
a lot of yeah, the Austin neighborhood, which is close to where I live in Oak Park. These are communities with such incredible people,
Yep.
and they don't have access to gyms like PSE, right? They don't have
Mm-hmm.
boutique combat sports gyms that
Right.
are semi-private with, at best maybe there's a park district, and it can actually, we think of Park District here in the burbs as something like fun
Yeah.
and gentle.
Yep.
Park District boxing in the city is the most
It's
intense
big.
thing you will ever see.
Mm-hmm.
They go hard, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard sparring. They might not have the patience to teach you the fundamentals
Right.
the way they should, right? So yeah, I benefit just as much, if not more, from doing this type of work.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really proud about just the growing impact PSE has had
Okay.
over the past year.
Yeah. And then what do you hope to improve upon this year?
Man, so this year, I like how you're trying to avoid
I
using the
know.
word resolution. Smart, you got me. So this year, we turned 10 years old, right? We started in 2016,
Has it
so
been
it's
that
10
long?
years,
Holy
yeah.
crap.
And most small businesses, thank you. I know
That's
most
a
small
long
businesses, it
time. Oh my
is.
God.
Most
10
fail within
years.
a year, and most gyms don't make it past, a couple years. It's a tough business.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in it just to make a profit or something, or just to make money, there's much less stressful ways to make a living. You have to love it. You
Yeah.
have to be passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I want to balance better is work-life balance. And that's why, going to the personally, I prioritize travel in 2025.
Yep.
Because before I'd always say, at some certain point, which was more of a fantasy, there will be a time when I can just do whatever I want and travel and do things that fulfill me outside of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And then almost 10 years went by and I noticed that wasn't happening. If I don't set aside the time to enjoy my life, it's just going to be like me running on a hamster wheel, right? Just work, home. And I'm very lucky that I enjoy my work, but
Right.
I still have to pursue my personal goals as well, which is
Yep.
to travel, to see the world, to experience life, to meet new people, to have new memories and new experiences. So I'm really proud that in 2025, I did that by traveling to 3 countries,
Right.
and I want to continue prioritizing
So you
travel.
want to keep doing that?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned that I can. When you start a business, you feel like it's a baby and you don't want to leave the baby, right?
That's where I'm at right now. I'm like,
Yeah,
can
I
I
get
even
it.
leave for that
I
long?
get it, man. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But I mean, that's a good, yeah. I mean, definitely travel. Why do you think travel? This is something I talked about with my
Yeah.
friends like a couple weeks ago. Like, why do you think travel? Well, sometimes when I think of travel, I think people wanting to escape their lives. You know what I mean? Where I
Yes.
think in that instance, travel is not benefiting you in some
Mm-hmm.
way. Where I think if you're kind of setting up your life and you're going towards your goals and you have your purpose in life and you're working towards that, and then you decide to travel to expand your
Yeah.
horizons, I think that's a better frame of reference when wanting to travel. But how do you think travel in general helps you overall, like in life?
That's a really good question. I think for me, it reminds you that the world is much bigger than your day-to-day life, first of all, which is good to keep things in perspective.
Hmm.
Um, Two, you learn and grow so much more. You will feel so much growth after visiting a new country. And by the way, when I speak about travel, I think we have similar ideas. If you go to some resort in Cancun and just
Hmm.
drink at the swim up bar and go to the buffet, I don't, for me, that's a vacation. That's like an escape from life. Like I just want
Yeah,
to sit and drink and eat. To me, I've never done a vacation like that.
me neither.
When I go somewhere, I want to live like a local. I want to walk around. I want to explore. I want to go where locals eat. I want to
Hmm.
talk to people. I want to
Yep.
learn more. So that way I grow. And for me, it's very fun too. It is fun. It is a
Yeah.
vacation where I'm enjoying myself, but I'm learning more. I'm learning about the world. I'm learning about different cultures. You pick up phrases in different languages. You just feel like a stronger, more well-rounded person every time you travel somewhere new. And that's, I can only imagine what it'll feel like after I visited 100 countries, right? Imagine
Yeah.
the knowledge, the experiences, the stories, the wisdom that will be shared with me. I'm sure it'll help me in every facet of my life.
What do you think? So let's look at last year again.
Yeah,
Instead of business, like
yeah,
just personal stuff or life stuff,
sure.
where do you think, what stuff do you think, stuff, very
Mm.
descriptive word, what do you think you could improve upon this year? Personal things.
Personal things I can improve upon.
Whether it's like, your health, wellness stuff, relationships, stuff like that.
That's a great question. I think not having such tunnel vision where everything is about, my academy and my day-to-day life, maintaining relationships, friendships, putting more effort into them.
Do you think that you didn't put enough effort in?
I know so. I know
Oh,
so.
so. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I do analyze myself and the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I had a lot of life stuff going on the past few years,
Sure.
and a lot of stuff like in terms of what was going on in the world was affecting my day-to-day life greatly, to where it made it very difficult to do anything other than work, and then just to go home, because home was like a safe place for me mentally, emotionally, and physically, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I can't just live the rest of my life like that. So I have friends
Mm.
who luckily are very understanding and patient with me. I have friends who have children who I haven't seen them much, and I want to be a part of their lives. I want to see them grow
Yep.
up. I have
Yep.
friends I have been meaning to visit for years. I don't make the time to go visit them.
Yeah. Yeah.
These things are just as important, if not more important,
Yeah. I
than,
agree.
the business side of things, right? People are irreplaceable, right? If
Mm-hmm.
PSE fails, which it won't, I can do something else. I could start some other academy. I could do many other things. I'm
Sure.
very fortunate.
Yeah.
But the people that I might be kind of pushing to the side are not replaceable.
Yep.
And so I think prioritizing people who care about me and spending more time with them, that includes my family, my parents, my sibling, like just prioritizing people more rather than this grind of gotta make it, gotta make it. And I say that now, but it's hard to get out of. I work 7 days a week. I don't take any
Yeah.
days off unless I'm traveling. That's the only time I'll take time off work.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy. Some people say that and they're proud of it. For me, it's like, man, I need to make a change. I don't
Yeah.
want to be one of those people that is just working all the time. And
Yep.
it's tricky when you enjoy your work. It's not like I'm sitting in a cubicle miserable. I love being at
That's
the
what I
academy.
always say too. Yeah.
Right?
No,
I
yeah.
enjoy it.
I love
So
helping people. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
tough to take
Mhm.
a step back from
Mhm.
that. So
It is tiring though. I don't know if you feel the same way.
oh
Just
yeah,
like with people all day, it can be draining.
absolutely.
Um, Especially like, with me in healthcare, they're telling you everything, and people are in pain. They walk in
Yeah.
pain. They walk in, sad or
Hmm.
angry or frustrated. So it could be very much draining.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got your first resolution is do better with your relationships. Let me give you one of mine that
Yeah,
I kind of
please.
like. I got like a list right here, but I think I remember them. A big one for me was, um, like you said, along with the business stuff,
Hmm.
like you get kind of like caught up in it like all day. Like you get home and I still do business stuff
Yes.
and I cannot turn it off.
Yep.
Even right now, I'm thinking about it. I'm not
Yep.
present with you at all. I'm just kidding.
No, like I'm not even listening to
But
you.
yeah. But like even thinking about it now, like
Hmm.
in a way, I kind of am because I'm thinking about when I get home, like what stuff do I
Sure.
have to do.
No, that's fair,
I'm
man. I
sure
get
you're
it.
kind of the same way,
Absolutely.
probably.
Hmm.
Or so, like I think a big thing for me is is sleep.
Hmm.
Where I think my sleep has been like all over the place,
Yeah.
especially last year.
Yeah.
I noticed that and I was a lot more tired towards the end of the year
Hmm.
when stuff kind of piled up on me.
Yeah.
So I think I need to have like a cutoff time to just like cease all business stuff,
Mm.
devices, my laptop, my phone, because that's where,
Mm.
our
Yeah.
businesses run half the
Absolutely.
time.
Hmm.
So I think I'm gonna stop, I set my time to like, 9:30, 10 to just like set an alarm and it's, I've been doing that the past couple weeks now where it just goes off. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop. I'm done.
Nice.
That's enough.
Wow.
Because if not, I keep, my mind keeps going.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? I'm like, oh, I forgot about this patient. I gotta
Yep.
like do a rehab program for this person. I
Hmm.
forgot to text this person.
Yes.
I'll do it in the morning.
Hmm.
It's fine. If
Yep.
not, I'm gonna stay up till 1 a.m. and then be exhausted for my patient at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
and then I'm not optimally providing healthcare for this person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is
Right.
also bad.
Yeah.
So I better just sleep, take care of it tomorrow, and then kind of be more energized throughout the day. So that's a big one for me is I don't want to say optimizing my sleep because that
Hmm.
just sounds kind
You
of
don't sound
lame,
like
you know.
my.
Optimize my sleep. But I think, and I think people intuitively know these things. And
Hmm.
maybe, again, I'm not trying to hate on those things, but like, again, just small changes go a long way. And
Yeah.
I talked about this on my last podcast. Like, if for me, just 1 hour earlier is going to be great for me. And,
Yeah.
I felt it. Like, if I sleep an hour earlier, I wake up feeling like a different person
Yes.
sometimes. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, just that little change is like
Hmm.
massive.
Yep.
So I think that's my first, let's call them goals.
Okay.
First goal for 2026.
Improve sleep.
So we got minus sleep, yours, what was yours? You said relationships and
Hmm.
also balance.
And yeah, and prioritize, things like travel, things that bring me fulfillment outside of my work, right? I think they tie into relationships, travel, all of that. I think is more just living, not a more fulfilling life. My life is fulfilling. I want
Right.
to be
Yeah.
careful and not seem like I'm complaining, like, oh, poor me, I'm running the business that I love all the
Yeah.
time and
Right.
I
Yeah.
trail. But no, I want to prioritize my personal goals and endeavors just as much as my professional ones. Um, that I think ties into like
Sure.
relationships, friendships, and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Um,
So for you, sleep was the
Sleep was,
first one.
yeah, that was one like, I quickly was just thinking about this last night as I was staying up late doing my, my business stuff. Sleep and then, well, let's go back to travel for a
Sure.
second. I think for me, the travel stuff, it is kind of a reset in a way because we do get kind of stuck in just, like you said, running the business, day-to-day stuff. So like I was in Puerto Rico 3 weeks ago
That's right. You
with my
mentioned you were going
friends.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
How was it?
and it was fun. And again, like I don't post any of that stuff on my
Yeah.
Instagram
Yeah.
at all.
Hmm.
My Instagram is my business now. That's all it is. Personal stuff is just for me and my
Yeah.
friends and everybody else.
Makes sense.
Um, I was gone during the polar vortex stuff.
Oh, lucky
So
you,
like,
man. You went at the
yeah,
perfect time,
it was like
man.
-20 here, and
And
then
how was it over there?
like 90, 85, 90 on the beach, sunny every day. Yeah. So my brothers and my family were texting me like, oh, like I was getting like alerts on my phone,
Yeah.
like, but I was like on the beach chilling.
Oh
So
my
I was like,
God.
whoop, sucks to be you guys.
Man.
So that was, yeah, it was fun. Again, just like that was a nice little reset for me because I think the winters in general are not my favorite anyway. So
Same.
I think I'm definitely gonna prioritize travel in the winter, at
Yes.
least, like minimum
Smart.
for me, because like these like dark days are not good for,
No.
I don't think for anybody,
No.
honestly.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we got sleep, we got relationships, we got better balance, which is a big goal. I think that's kind
Yeah.
of a life goal for
Yeah.
most of us,
Yeah.
trying to balancing out our personal and business lives. Um, where else can you improve upon in terms of like, again, not business. Let's
Yeah.
get away from
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Personally, like
Outs-
what else do you want to do to, looking back last year, what did you
Mhm.
do too much of that you think you could kind of cut out or improve upon?
Mm.
Heads up, guys, this episode is brought to you by Thorne Supplements, and I'm a proud partner of Thorne, and you could use my link in the description. Here's a bottle of their multivitamin that I use. I love their multivitamins. Um, Again, I personally use multivitamin, their creatine as well. Great stuff. Thorne products are backed by science, trusted by health professionals and athletes. Many Thorne products are NSF certified for sport, meaning what's on the label is what's in the bottle. Thorne focuses on high quality ingredients and clinical testing for purity and potency. Thorne offers personalized health solutions across nutrition, sleep, focus, energy, and recovery. Every product is designed to help you feel, perform, and live better every day. So click on the link below that I have on Thorne. There might be a QR code here somewhere. And thanks again for Thorne for sponsoring this episode.
I think managing all different types of stress,
Okay.
right? Because I know stress is a killer, right?
Oh,
Literally.
literally, yeah.
So, trying to make sure this doesn't apply to business, but since that's a big source of stress. But no, that's actually not true. I deal with stress from a variety of different places, like everybody does.
Sure.
Nothing different than anyone else. But I notice when I don't have a healthy outlet for stress, it stays with me longer.
So stress management, you're saying?
Yeah, stress management, doing things that I enjoy, having things to look forward to like throughout the week, even if it's something small. I think personally, I could start to feel overwhelmed and stressed when I'm just kind of going through going from like, let's say, appointment to appointment. And when I have something to look forward to, something that I know I'm going to enjoy, that helps so much. And sometimes I don't prioritize that enough. Like, hey, this week I'm going to take a morning off and I'm going to go visit a new coffee shop or cafe that I've been meaning to check out, or I'm going to take a walk downtown. I'm going to, I need to start planning things that are for no other reason than to have fun and enjoy myself. And
Okay.
you can almost feel irresponsible doing that because you're like, oh, well, I should be doing this,
Yeah.
right? I should be doing this instead. It's like, yeah, you could always be doing something that's more productive, but I don't want to be conditioned in that way to think that if I'm enjoying a walk in downtown Chicago, that's not being productive, right?
Is that something you like doing? Just
I love walking. I
Yeah, me
love
too.
I love walk. It gives me, that's when I really do my best like thinking, and that's when I'm just, ideas start kind of coming to me.
Now, when you walk, do you not listen to anything? Do you not have your phone on you?
Usually if I'm walking, I'll either listen to nothing, which is probably the best for me, is to listen to absolutely nothing
I
and
agree.
just think. Sometimes I'll start by like listening to music or a podcast, and then usually halfway through
This
I'm turned it up.
podcast, right?
Of course,
Yes.
Dr. Gerry's podcast only, actually. And then like halfway through I'll be like, you know what? I actually am enjoying where my brain is going here, so I don't want any distractions or music, right? Even your podcast, which is again the only thing I listen to.
Only, yeah. That's all you need.
It's literally all you need. It's the only thing that plays in my gym during classes is just your podcast.
Yes.
But yeah, I noticed that that's just so, and I feel so much better after doing things like that.
Okay, so a walk is good.
A walk is
Stress
good.
management for you.
Mhm.
What else can you think of?
Being around like friends and family and like laughing and talking
Okay.
and joking, and that's amazing. You feel like a new person sometimes after moments like that. Man, so many things that I can do. I'm very lucky. Like all of the things I'm interested in, my hobbies are great for stress management, stress relief.
Such as?
Like, boxing and
Yep.
kickboxing.
Yep,
When I train, I feel so much better.
How often do you train now yourself?
The busier the gym gets, the less I train, which
Right.
is an issue.
That's what I'm asking.
And I
you.
hate that. Yesterday, I was hoping, for example, to train during my classes, but we had even numbers, so I couldn't partner with somebody. Usually I love when it's odd numbers so that I could be like, okay, I guess I'll work. And that way I get to train and coach. Yesterday, again, a good problem. We had like a packed class for our MMA class. And then we had even numbers for jiu-jitsu. So after I actually asked one of my students, like, hey man, do you want to get some extra sparring in? They're like, yeah. So I just knew I needed to work a little bit, break a sweat. I knew I would come home feeling better.
Yeah.
And it worked. It's incredible. Sometimes the people around me will notice I'm tense and they're like, maybe you should go train. Like they're basically telling me like, hey, get the hell out of here. You're driving us crazy. Go train because you're a much better person after you train.
Yeah.
And they're right. They're absolutely right.
How often do you think you train now? Like a week, like twice a week? Is it just all over the place right now?
It's all over the place. I should be training, not just teaching, but training like 3 to 4 times a week at minimum, I think. Now, recently, it's been like 1 to 2, and I could see the increase in stress throughout the week. I could like feel it manifesting in my body, right? I'm just like walking around tense and like, you know, people who are more educated about the body than I am tell me that stress literally manifests itself in the body. That, for example, like, I'm sure you know this very well, but massage therapists have told me like they could feel when somebody's stressed, right? You could feel the tension, right? Same with a fighter. When you're training a fighter, you could see when they're tense and stressed. You could see it, right? So if you don't have a release for that, where does it go, right?
This is funny because, like, did I tell you I teach anatomy now at Lewis University?
No, that's awesome,
So, like,
man.
we were just talking about this in my class yesterday. I don't know if you guys are listening or not in my class. Hi. But, so, like, we're talking about the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, or part of the nervous system. Like, your vagus nerve is, like, responsible for parasympathetic response in the body, right? So, like, when you stimulate that, meaning, like, that's like when you stimulate that nerve, that's when your body kind of chills. That's why it's called the rest and digest, as opposed to sympathetic nervous system where your body's like, you know, ready to go.
I see.
So when your body's on high alert all the time, your sympathetic nervous system is activated or more so activated. And again, when that happens, obviously your body's ready to fight.
Yes.
So what happens? Your muscles clench, you get all tense, you're ready to go. Your heart rate increases, all that stuff. And a lot of people, when they feel stressed like that, they are in a constant state of, you know, stress.
Yeah.
Meaning like they're in a constant state of muscle tension, their heart rate is elevated, and they're always kind of ready to go when nothing really is a threat to them in a way. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird how that works. But so we were talking about stress management yesterday in my class. And I kind of asked them, I was like, you know, how do you guys like de-stress? Like, what's a good way to like stimulate the vagus nerve is what I said. And I threw it out to them like exercise is a good way to stimulate or to regulate your stress response. Also like, you know, meditation, deep breathing. A lot of people like, you know, a good example is like when someone's like stressed out or freaking out or something, what do you tell them? Hey, take a deep breath. There's a reason for that. You know, your body calms down when you take deep breaths. What else did I said something else, I forget. Essentially, like, again, you don't want to be in that constant state of distress, I should say. You know what I mean? Which is when your body's kind of tipped over the edge and you're constantly tense, which again, like you said, it manifests in the body. Your muscles are tight, it can lead to like tension and pain, stuff like that. So you can't negate those effects. But anyways, yes, so stress management is big. What else did we say? You said relationships too, kind of trying to get more with that. A big one for me, let's call it a goal, not a resolution. A goal for me this year is, we talked about it before the podcast, but more so like less, and I don't do it a lot, thankfully, but I know a lot of people do. Like phone stuff, I want to just read more. I don't want to read on my phone.
You want to read books?
I want to read more books. And I was an avid reader in my 20s. I love reading.
Same.
And I remember how good it felt. And I still do it on and off when I read before bed. I'm like, I just feel more present. I feel more focused. I feel more like relaxed. As opposed to like, you know, thankfully I don't scroll through anything weird online. Like I don't really get that in my algorithm. But like even just like my eye strain and like just staring at a screen, it doesn't feel good like after an hour or something. So like reading a book, I just feel, like I said, more present, more relaxed, and I fall asleep a lot better. So I think for me, just reading in general, I'm going to increase that as much as I can this year. I'll, you know, maybe every night is what I'm thinking. Like 10, 15 minutes, fall asleep, I'm chilling. But what about you? What else can you improve upon personally? Let's keep going with this.
That's something I agree with you, and that is a goal of mine. I need to read more. A friend of mine, Alex, I was complaining to him years ago that, man, I used to read so much, and now I don't. And he said, yeah, because now you read on your phone a lot. You're still reading like you used to, but now you're reading
It's
articles,
not the same,
but
man.
it's not the same.
And when people read, they scroll right past it. They read, scroll right past it.
Same.
Whereas like when you're reading, you're kind of just focused and like actually like stuck in that story or whatever you're reading. Where again, that is very like attention, just like fast, just like scroll, read, scroll, read, scroll, read, scroll. So yes, I agree.
And what he was saying was that a lot of people who used to read now try to instead get their like reading fix from reading a lot, whether it's articles or even whatever. But no, you're right. When I read books, even I noticed, like I went to the movies recently, just like watching a movie, a good movie that's well written and well made, it's so much more rewarding than like binge watching a TV show. It was this movie, man, I forgot the name, but it was a movie about 1970s Brazil, and it had the guy from Narcos, the guy who played Pablo Escobar in Narcos.
Yeah, I don't
he was the main actor, and it was subtitles, so you're reading in Portuguese the whole time. A phenomenal movie, and it was like 2.5 hours, and I was like, oh God, I don't want to watch, 2.5, but I loved it. People who have seen it will know what I'm talking about just based on that description alone. But in the middle of the movie, I was like, man, this is like a nice and like rewarding experience. And when I read, it almost feels like a slow, steady dopamine release rather than it's like eating a good meal versus eating fast food, right? That's what it feels like when you read a book or watch a good film. And I need to prioritize those more because they're also a time investment. You have to sit somewhere and say, okay, for the next 3 hours, I'm going to watch this movie. Or I'm going to put all this away, open this book, and this will be my only source of entertainment for the next however long. But like you, I feel so much better when I do that. So I do have that goal as well to read more. I think reading is akin to traveling, and that the more you read, the more personal growth you'll experience, right? Whereas if you read maybe a bunch of, let's say, magazines or a bunch of articles, you don't get the same growth, you don't get the same reward as you do when you read a book. So that's something I have to do more.
What's your favorite book that you let's just say it, favorite book ever?
Man, that's such a tough question. I've never even thought about that.
I'm trying to think myself.
I have to think. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm bad at picking my favorite. Like, if you ask me my favorite food, it's so tough. There's all these,
I mean, it's Mexican food. I don't know what you're talking
Of course, yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yes.
With books, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that and get back to you. That's a tough one.
I'm trying to think of some books myself. The book that always jumps out at me is I didn't even read the whole book. It's a very dense book, but it's a good book. It's called Antifragile by Nassim Taleb. I don't remember. I was going to look it up, but I don't remember. Or Nassim Taleb. I don't know if Brian's looking it up or anything. Someone's clicking back there. But it's a book about, and Brian mentioned actually a pretty good book last week too when I was here. The War of Art or something, Brian, right? Yeah. Great book too. But Antifragile is about essentially how like that book. What's his name? Nassim Taleb. Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, it's about how like organisms or humans essentially require stress to get better, but not enough stress to where it kills you, obviously, but like in a dose response. And it makes you an anti-fragile person, whereas it makes you stronger, essentially.
I see.
But he says it in a much better way than that.
No, but I understand.
Also, it's like, you don't want to avoid stress.
Yeah.
Like you want to, like exercise is stress, right?
Sure.
Don't avoid it.
Yeah.
But also, you could also overdo it. You know what I mean? You could overtrain.
Yes.
So you want to do everything, at the most effective dose. I would equate that to anything too. I think he talks about it in the book. Just kind of pushing yourself in anything. Like, for us, we're talking about like social media. Like I'm not well versed in this, but I'm trying to make myself better in these and Instagram, YouTube, because overall it's for my business and stuff like that. So I think kind of pushing myself in that will make me a better overall, business person, entrepreneur, whatever. So I think that book always sticks out to me.
Yeah.
should probably finish that book. But I remember reading most of it, and I was like, it clicked with me right away. I was like, oh, I get it. I get what he's trying to say. I understand the whole message. So,
I see.
again, like it's good to stress yourself, but not
Yeah.
over stress yourself, essentially. So that book always sticks out to me. I'm trying to think of other books. Yeah, we'll come back to that. So anyways, but leading into my third goal that I have was I wrote down, be the creator, not the consumer, which we
Such
kind
a
of
good
talked
one.
about before the podcast.
Such a great one.
Where I think as business owners, well, like we talked about again before the podcast, people just kind of scroll on their phone.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're the consumer.
Yes.
Instead of actually putting out value or whatever into the world, you're just consuming what someone else is doing.
Yes.
Where I think, us as business owners, as people who want to create stuff, it's good to just put stuff out there. And so people can scroll past our stuff and maybe they stop and they watch, they listen, and they vibe with it. And I think that's overall better in general than just sitting there and, getting lost in your phone.
Absolutely, man. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
That's so important. And I remember telling you something before we started recording. I forgot where I read this, but somebody said every time you open an app and start scrolling, post on that app. So contribute to it rather than just consuming, like you said. And it is more rewarding. One, it's more fun. You get to be creative.
Yeah,
You get to express yourself. It's fun. Yeah. And I think it's also cool. We're in a weird space where it's cool to mock social media, even though everybody uses social media. It's like this weird.
I know.
Yeah, like it's strange, right? Where if you put yourself out there, you open yourself up to criticism. And one of the close people in my life, Asha, told me to put myself out there more. She's like, when you look at our stuff, for example, like PSE, it's very rarely like me talking into like a camera. I don't think there's anything like that exists, to be honest.
Yep.
And she's like, put yourself, talk, do stuff, show them your love. And I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather show my students training or competing.
Yeah.
But like maybe I should, because
we're doing it right now.
Yeah. You know, this to me, that's why I like doing it. A lot of people learn more about me from these episodes. They've known me for like 15 years. Like, Ramy, I never knew any of this. You never talk about any of this. You never share any of this. I'm only open with very few people in my life, but I'm not afraid of being open, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just don't go around like, hey, you want to hear my life story to some random person, right? So I'd like to not only post more, but also put myself out there more, the good and the bad. And yeah, people can critique and argue and this, but I'd like to put myself out there more. I'm inspired. I see small business owners in the Chicago area not only posting, like, for example, they own a restaurant. They don't just post their food. They post like, okay, this is day one of me trying to open my restaurant.
Yeah.
I enjoy it when I'm looking.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is cool.
We understand what that's like. Yeah.
And I'm like, I never do that. People don't know anything of like what I deal with to run PSE. They only see the end result, the students, people getting their hand raised, the merch, the this, the that, the classes. But there's so much going on. Just like with you, there's so much going on. I mean, it could be a reality show, just the stuff that you've dealt with.
I've thought about it. But also I can't, because it's private health information. You know what I mean? I can't just put it like someone, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm always kind of weary of it. But at the same time, I can. As long as I get their approval and I say, hey, can I, use you as, this exercise, rehab exercise? Demo it for me or something. But also, like, again, this is also showing our personality.
Exactly right.
And there's going to be people that don't vibe with it, and that's fine. You know what I mean? As long as we know we're doing good in the world, which it seems like we are. We're not evil people.
No.
Or are we? But, and we know we aren't. So, those people are already going to be like, whatever. Who cares about them? The people that don't vibe with us. It's all good. I get it. But again, hopefully we get that person who is scrolling and they're hearing us talk about, whether it's fighting, whether it's, for me, it's like injury prevention or something, physical therapy, things like that. And they're like, oh, let me keep listening to these guys.
Yeah.
That's more so what I'm going for, being the creator. Like, here's us, here's me with my friend Ramy. We're talking about this.
Right.
Instead of like being the person that's just scrolling and like, you're kind of just doing nothing.
You're absolutely right.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing is happening.
You're just sitting there looking at a thing on your, a rectangle, and your eyes hurt after a while. You know what I mean?
I always think if aliens were watching us and they just saw us like sitting, like doing they'd be like, what the hell are these human beings doing, like with their time? They're literally just sitting and it's so mindless and it's so easy because it's, when you get bored, you just go to the next, you go to the next. And we talked about that in the last episode we recorded, so I don't want to, rehash and say the same
No,
things because
please,
I have the
yeah.
same opinions, but I think with being more open, one thing I'm proud of is that we've developed PSE as like a brand outside of just people who come in and take our classes. For example, we just, released shirts, and we had orders from New York, California. People have never set foot in PSE or even taken a martial arts class.
Yep.
But they're buying our stuff. Why? Because I've been talking more about like what PSE represents, the values that we stand for, why we're doing what we do, and people resonate with that. Whereas if I was just showing like people hitting pads, no one in California would buy a shirt of, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Like one of my coaches, Coach Brooks, said, you never see anybody walking around with like a Lifetime Fitness shirt unless it was given to them for free, right? But like no one's gonna buy it that has like, oh, I really want to represent Lifetime Fitness when I'm out and about on the town, right? But with PSE, people do, and that's something special, and I should appreciate that. And the reason they resonate with it is because of the outside of the fighting aspect stuff, right? They see us as like a rebellious business that is not doing things the way you should run a business. They see that we wear our values on our sleeve, that we're inclusive, that all kinds of people are not only welcome, but very welcome at our academy, people that would be overlooked and even bullied at most of the gyms that I've spent years, like my formative years training at. A lot of my student base would have been bullied, harassed, ridiculed, made fun of, mocked. And I know this because I saw it happen to tons of people. Yeah, I mean, most combat sports gyms, to be very honest with you, are extremely bigoted, prejudiced, and just mean. There's cliques, they pick on, it's like high school all over again. It's really pathetic. So creating an environment where that's not the case, where some
That's so dumb.
40-year-old who's never done any sports at all can come in and feel welcome and feel strong and feel empowered and uplifted, that's a great feeling. People resonate with that more so than if I just showed, hey, this is student X throwing a kick. Yeah, that's cool, but what's the story behind student X? Why are they there? Why did they come to PSE? Why are they training? This person doesn't want to fight. Why are they training 4 times? And you learn these things and people connect with it. So I should do this more. I should share our story more. And I think you definitely, because you have a great story, right? Like you're a rebel as well. You rebelled against the
corporate
status quo.
healthcare.
Yeah. And that's a story that many people will be inspired by.
And I think a lot of people, most people do hate the healthcare system these days. I think it's not a hot topic. It's pretty well known. People always complain about, and they should complain because it is bad. And they go see whoever. They see their primary care. They just kind of shoo them off. Here's some pills. Get away from me.
Yeah.
But they're like, hey, my back still hurts. Should I go get physical therapy? Yeah, if you want. Like, yeah, you should get physical therapy. Like, they should refer you to PT. Same thing if your knee hurts. As long as they find no red flags or anything, nothing crazy going on, go see your physical therapist. And then also, when they do get physical therapy and they go to some crappy clinic where all they care about is money, again, they see you for 20 minutes, they hand you off to an aide, and they're like, hey, do these here's a list of exercises, do it with my assistant. And the actual physical therapist, the doctor of PT, is not with the patient. And I hated doing that. And I worked for those companies, and that's terrible.
I can't imagine you with your personality like in that environment full time.
I tried, man. You make it work. That was my first job out of school, so I'm like, is this how it's supposed to be? I knew it wasn't, but like it got more and more corporate, and they wanted you to see more and more patients. And again, it's impossible to see like a person one-on-one. If you're seeing like people back to back to back, that becomes 3 people at a time. And then you're just like what am I doing here? Like I can't be with 3 people at once. It's impossible.
Do you think the people that stick with that sort of system know that it's wrong and that it could be better, but they just do it because it's the safe option and like, well, what am I going to do?
Safe option, their insurance covers it a lot more. It's probably, well, I say it's cheaper, but it's not even that much cheaper because I see people like once a week now.
I mean the people in your position, not the patient. Let's say the doctors of physical therapy like yourself who are seeing these patients where they're seeing 3 people at a time. They know that's not the best
they know.
way, right?
Yeah, I used to work with them. They would always complain about it.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
They're just as upset as you are, but they just didn't do anything about it. Okay, that's the difference.
Yeah.
And that's the Dr. Gerry story is why did those guys stay over there, and
Mm,
why did you do your own thing? Why are you do like? I think that's
I think
to
you
me.
know
That's what's,
why.
I know
We
why.
both know why. I think everybody knows why. It's the
Yes,
easy choice.
exactly right.
Like there it is for you.
Yep.
Here's your, your pay, your
Yep.
401k, your stable job.
Yeah.
Chill here, hate your job.
Yeah. Don't
But
ruffle
it's
any feathers.
stable.
Yeah.
Suck up to the regional manager or
Oh my
whatever.
God, man. Oof.
Like I could not do that. I was
Same.
like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like people do this. And again, it's fine. If people want to do that, I know they secretly hate it, but if they want to keep doing it, it's fine too.
Right.
They also got bills to pay and stuff
Yeah.
too. But that wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
So I left.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully now it's me, it's all private. I love getting to know my patients and we're chilling. So any other goals you have for this year? Let's kind of wrap this up a little bit.
Yeah. As far as goals, just to get Dr. Gerry back in PSE practicing.
Yes, I'll be there
again.
soon. My knee's actually good now.
Is it really?
But
No,
my
good.
shoulder's been bugging me, so I've been rehabbing that.
Oh, what happened?
So this is a funny story. I think, honestly, it stemmed from this. It was probably already kind of messed up. But
Yeah.
do you know what a dynamometer is, where you test your grip strength?
Oh,
You
yeah.
press it super hard.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I did it with a patient, like, we were just messing around with it, just like testing our grip strength. And I was like, let me try it. And I tried super hard. I went like this, like as hard as I can. And my shoulder would just hurt like crazy.
You're kidding
so I'm
me.
pretty sure I strained my rotator cuff or something. And it's been bugging me for like a couple months since. It's a lot better now. But even like, I got like a heavy bag that I hit sometimes. But even doing that kind of, that rotation, a little bit.
Okay.
It's a lot better now.
Okay.
So I think maybe another couple weeks of rehab, I'll test it out again. If I'm good, I'll obviously text you and be like, hey,
oh yeah,
I'm
man.
good to go.
Yeah, it was fun training with you, and you're doing so well. So no, I'm just giving you a hard time, but no, you're always welcome.
No, I want to. I love it. It's super fun.
It is. It is.
It's my favorite thing to do, honestly, besides just lift weights and do some cardio. But yeah, I remember just doing that. And
that
then
did it. You're too powerful for it. That's
I
why.
guess so. Yeah, but just broke it. But I did that, strained my shoulder, and then I'm like, that feels not good.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're better though.
No, yeah, I'm good now. My knee's good, thankfully. I was worried about that a little bit more because that was bugging me for a while.
Yeah, knee injuries are scary.
Yeah, I couldn't really,
for an athlete.
Couldn't hop on it. Couldn't really when you're doing like footwork and stuff. Like you want me to do footwork.
Sure.
So even doing that like by myself, I was like, that doesn't feel good. So I, built it back up, rehabbed it, and now I'm jumping and running again. So I'm like, I'm fine.
Good,
I should be back to that.
No, very good. Did you go over all your goals? Did you hit all?
I think so, yeah. Unless you had another one. Anything
I would like to, one thing I've been doing is I've always kind of been anti-marketing for my academy, and this is the first year that I've actually
What do you mean by anti-marketing?
Like I refuse, I never printed a flyer. I don't really do like paid ads. I
don't do a lot of that either. I'm all word of mouth.
It's word of mouth,
mostly.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of it,
but I realized for the goals, I have ambitious goals, and for those goals, I can't just wait for the people to magically appear at my door. So this year, for the first time, hired a marketing crew, like people who specialize just in martial arts gyms.
Nice.
They're called Mat Masters, a really good company run by
out.
Jorge. Yeah, really good people. Really good people.
Familiar.
They worked with a lot of gyms that I was familiar with, and that's what made me interested.
Okay.
The dude himself is a martial artist and trains jiu-jitsu, and it's been able to introduce new students who otherwise wouldn't have known about PSE, and man, we are changing people's lives who would have never known about PSE before. So I'm like, man, maybe there is something to this marketing thing, And when people hear this, they're like, yeah, obviously, but I really haven't run the business the correct way that you should, right? Where you spend most of what you generate back into marketing. I have done none of that. But by just putting a little bit into marketing and finding the right kind of people, I want to grow our brand. I want people to see the Phoenix logo and know that it's our academy. Like I want to grow, and I think that'll bring more opportunities. I want to travel. In Portugal, I did a workshop for a university club there. Yeah.
Oh, dang, okay.
So it's like, that would be a dream come true, to travel around the world, teach people, and have like a home base here of PSE that I could always come back to. But I'd like to empower other people to run it and give them the same opportunity so they could benefit as much as I have from what this is. So I want to kind of move towards those goals, and I can't do it if more people don't know about PSE.
Yeah, marketing's huge. I think, definitely I want to do that more myself. Just like, even right now, like social media marketing, I guess some ads and stuff. Like, I haven't even done that before, like any paid ads. just to get more exposure. Like when people are scrolling, they'll see my face or
Yeah.
something, or someone, me rehabbing a patient or something.
Right.
So I think it's definitely valuable. So I'm definitely going to invest more in that. And again, invest more in this stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing for me this year. Is just
Mhm.
like doing more of this.
Yeah.
More clips, more anything on Instagram, more podcasts. I like doing this. This is fun
It's
for
fun,
me.
man. It is fun.
It's just us talking.
Mhm.
But go ahead and do some marketing for yourself right now. Like, go ahead and tell the people
I would love
your
to.
website, all that stuff.
PhoenixSportsEmpire.com. I'm Ramy Dawood. And if you, not only if you're in the area, but if you're in the area and you're interested in martial arts or combat sports, come check us out. You will love our gym, I promise. And if you're not in the area, I'm happy to come to you and teach a workshop or a seminar. I've been lucky to do them in New York, Miami, Atlanta, now Lisbon, my first international one. So PSE is happy to come to you. And even offices in the area, if your crew could learn some self-defense, we'd be happy to help you with that. So any combat sports needs, please come to PSE on Instagram, Phoenix Sports Empire. Website's PhoenixSportsEmpire.com. If you want to learn more about me for whatever reason, you can follow me at Ramy the Giant on Instagram.
Why wouldn't they want to learn about you?
I mean, they should. I mean,
This
I think
guy
they
right
should.
here.
Can I shout out a few people before?
Go for it.
I have to shout out people that, Asha, number one, and then my parents, Sarah, and everyone, the coaches at PSE who are amazing. We wouldn't be here 10 years without their efforts. Coach Ramy, who's been with me all 10 years of PSE.
Wow.
Coach Brooks, who's been with us now for 7, 8 years. Amazing coach. Coach Enrique. Thank you
Enrique's
to all of them. Yep, the star of
man
this
right
show.
there.
He's a good
You're a
man.
good man, Enrique. Keep it up.
And yeah, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate everybody listening, and I appreciate Dr. Gerry for having me on.
I'll have you on regularly, like I said, if
I'd
you'd
love to,
so
man.
like to. For me, you guys could always find me at artofpt.com as I'm playing with my spine right here. Any pain, any injury you guys have, you guys could schedule something with me on my website. Also, you could just DM me on Instagram at apt.Dr.G. I'm on Threads still, which you got to get more active. I keep telling you.
I do, man.
Just,
I'm on it.
Just start typing stuff.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what
right.
I do.
You're right.
Threads, same thing,
right.
at apt.Dr.G. My newsletter is the PT Handbook, which you guys can subscribe for free. It's in the description of this YouTube video. It should be. And just click on the link and subscribe. Bunch of tips that I give out for sports medicine stuff, PT, rehab stuff. Great newsletter. I actually type it myself.
Oh, wow.
It's fun to write because I'm a nerd and I love talking about this stuff. So there's other links in the description. So check those out. And anything else, dude? Good?
No. Let us know what you want us to talk about next time.
Yeah, I was thinking next time we could you could ask your clients, I could ask my patients some questions, and we could just answer them on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be fun, man.
Like the most frequently asked questions.
Okay, you got it. Absolutely.
All right, brother.
Thank
We'll
you,
see
Dr. Gerry. Appreciate
Thank you, guys.
it, man.
Peace.